Okay, this is chapter 16 or part 16 of the Fool's journey as he moves through the major trumps, learning something from each of the cards as he goes. And here we're at number 16, the Tower. As you can see, if I hold it up to the camera a bit, XB1 16, and it's the Tower, and you get the man and woman have been knocked out. There's a lightning bolt there. So with this card, if we look at it, we get the idea that sometimes things get broken or things get damaged, and people get damaged and people get broken. And that's kind of what you're dealing with the Tower. And we've got this lightning flash here, so it can be telling us about, or reminding us, or reminding the Fool about the power of nature. And here we've got a lightning flash knocking the top off the building. But it could also be some other kind of act or force of nature, like a flood or some kind of natural disaster that can happen. But it's reminding us that we think, we're in charge. But in fact, maybe we are most of the time. But it doesn't mean that nature, represented by the lightning flash, isn't actually more powerful than we are. So it can be that with this card, the Fool, or anybody really, is being asked, if you're given something that's broken or something that's destroyed or damaged, what do you do? Do you rebuild? Or do you clear away the rubble and start fresh, discard the ruins and begin from the very beginning again? So the question for the Fool can be, how do you handle destruction? How do you handle breakdowns? Or how do you deal with situations or people or conditions that are broken down and are no longer as strong and as viable and as, I want to say, practical and realistic as they once were, because they've been shown to be vulnerable, or they've been shown to be not quite as strong as people maybe thought they were. Something has happened, and it's a bit like the truth of the matter has been revealed. And how are you going to deal with the truth when it doesn't really, it's not the same as what you thought it was? So, when the Tower comes up, I suppose you look at the lightning flash and what's happened to the people, and how do you react? You can panic, right? Which is one reaction to what's going on. Or, what's probably better and more sensible, you assess the damage. So whatever the Tower represents, whatever kind of condition it shows, think things through and decide what you're going to do and how you're going to deal with the situation. And so with the Tower, there's a requirement on the part of the questioner, let's say, or on the part of the Fool. Be clear in your mind about what you've got, what you want, and how you're going to get from where you are to where you want to be. Because sometimes you look at the situation, it could be a relationship that's gone wrong or a plan that hasn't worked out, and you look at it and you decide, this is really not worth repairing. Because sometimes things are just broken beyond any point in fixing them up again. Or maybe you look at the situation, you think, okay, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to repair it, even though I know that the repair is only temporary. And it's going to need more work later on, so I'll deal with it as it is at the moment, but I'm not expecting it to last as long as I thought it was going to last in the very beginning. There's a lightning flash here, and I'm inclined to think that this card, the damage that's done or the destruction that comes, it's a kind of one-off thing. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's a bit like an unlucky or an unfortunate break. You were maybe in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? So I'm thinking this because people go out all the time in lightning storms and don't get struck by lightning. Because most of the time, the lightning hits the earth and does what it does, but there isn't the same amount of damage, let's say. And I mean, it's not like if there's a heat wave that lasts for 30 days and people are, there's no respite from it over an extended period of time. Whereas with a lightning storm, it comes and it goes and it does its damage, but then it moves on. So it's that type of problem that you're dealing with rather than a situation that is extended over a period of time. The other thing is that before there's going to be lightning, you've got a certain amount of warning beforehand, right? So with this card, pay attention to what's going on, because if you pay attention, you can avoid certain problems that would have happened if you had been wandering along with your eyes closed. It's a bit like, the other thing is, nowadays and for years, lightning storms don't cause the same amount of damage that they used to, because we have things called lightning conductors. So they put metal or some kind of thing on top of buildings so that when the lightning strikes the building, it's got a passage to the ground where it can be earthed, I think the expression is. Right, so it's a bit like, if we translate that into human conditions, with the tower, you've got advanced war. Let's say it appears in the future. You know that things are going to go wrong, right? You know that certain problems are going to occur, or they're going to be likely to happen. So you look at your situation, you look at the relationship or whatever it happens to be, and knowing that or believing that problems are going to arise, look for where the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities are. Look for the vulnerable points and add some kind of protection. In the same way you add a lightning rod to protect the building from lightning, you add some kind of protective coating or protective situation or condition, so that, or maybe it's something, or you pick somebody to divert the problem, so that when the situation deteriorates or becomes bad, you've got somebody in place, maybe a counsellor, maybe a lawyer, maybe a spokesman, maybe some kind of representative, so that when things go wrong, there's somebody in place or some kind of situation in place to handle the damage, to deal with the fallout that is likely to happen. So this can be forewarned, it's forearmed.